Good morning to one and all. Hope you all will be fit and fine. Stay home, stay safe. Students, we have completed our 2 chapters. Now, I shall start with our 3rd chapter, that is Glimpses of the Past. Introduction. Before you read, here are some pictorial glimpses, that is memories of history of our country from 1757 to 1857. These pictures, pictorials, and speech bubbles, that is clouds, in which dialogues are written, will help clarify your understanding of the conditions that led to the event known as First War of Independence in 1857. Students, in SST also we are having about 1857, how the revolt started all over India. So the same thing is over here. It is being expanded through pictures and some dialogues. First point, the martyrs. Let's start. At a function in Delhi. Here, students, there is a picture of Lata Mangeshkar with some leaders, and she had sung the song Vande Mataram. So before that, she gave some speech, and here there is a speech bubble. It says that, "Oh my countrymen, let your eyes fill with tears as you recall the sacrifices of India's martyrs." So here it is being given boost to the people so that they can come forward and gain the freedom for India. Then there is one more picture in this particular, that is page number 36, in which Jawaharlal Nehru is sitting on a chair, and with him some of the leaders are being shown. For example, Bahadur Shah Zafar, Lokmanya Tilak, Mahatma Gandhi, and so on. Then let's come to our page number 37. Point number 2, the company's conquest. When I say companies, that is the British East India Company I am talking about. Conquest, battles, and war. From the year 1757 to 1849. So I shall start reading. There is a map shown of India, in which it is being shown during the period of 1865 how majority part of India was covered by our princely kings. That is, princely states were there, where our rulers were there, Indian rulers were there, Hindu rulers as well as the Muslim rulers were there. And a very less part was occupied by the British territory, that is British merchants. Let's start. With its superior weapons, the British East India Company was extending its power in 18th century India. So here everyone knows that the British, they brought the latest weapons, they brought their army. Initially they came as traders. They told our kings and all that they will help, and some laws were made, acts were made so as to help the Indian kings. But in reality it was not so. Going for the second one, that is, Indian princes were short-sighted. Means they trusted these British merchants that they will help them. So here one of the Mughal emperor is saying that upstarts Rajahaba called the English merchants, they will help me to defeat him. So here the neighboring state king had attacked on this particular king, and he feels that instead of fighting with him, he wanted the support of the British merchants so that they can give him some latest weapons as well as their troops, so that they can capture the neighboring king and win the war. So here the war is being shown. There is some points to be noted. The people had no peace due to such constant fights. Means what? Our rulers only fought between each other. Next one, the rivalries, enemies. helped the East India Company, and it could easily subdue, control, to take under. Okay, so yeah, it could easily subdue Indian princes one by one. So here, the British occupied one by one areas, and they started taking control over there. Now here, one of our ruler is being shown, that is Tipu Sultan. Okay, about him, what it is being said, let's see. A far-seeing ruler like the brave Tipu Sultan, that is Tipu of Mysore, so he was ruling at Mysore, fought the British till he died fighting. Means what? Till the end of his life, he had fought for the struggle. Okay, he wanted that we should be free from the clutches of the British government. Here, another dialogue, that is speech bubbles are being shown. I am reading. Here, how did Indians react to these conquests? Fights, and all. Let's see. Thank God there is peace in the country now. No more wars and no more looting by thugs. Thugs are the people who loot the local ones. So here, what they are saying, no more wars and no more looting by thugs, that is bad people. Another one, another bubble. It is God who sent the British. So here they feel secure under British, these rulers. Other one is saying, our destiny is linked with them. So they believe they had trust on British merchants as well as the army. Next one, the white man, the bubble again. The white man has killed or dethroned our kings. So yeah, initially they believed, but later on, our kings only were removed from their throneship. It was taken, it was snatched from them. So yeah, the local people are talking with each other. Some kings were not good, but after all, they were of this land. You know that you had seen some Padmavat or many other movies, Jodha Akbar and all, where some kings were very good, but some were not up to the mark. Now the third man is saying, now we have become slaves of foreigners. So here our people trusted, our kings trusted on them, but later on they only became the slaves of the Britishers. Students, now I shall start. Page number 38, third point. British rule from the year 1765 to 1836. I shall start reading. Religious leaders preach to teach ideas like untouchability and child marriage. Students, you know that leaders, that is religious leaders, that is priest, or maybe this one, Maulanas, and many more other leaders, those ones, religious ones, they had taught our people some social evils like Dudpiti, like Sati, untouchability, that is not to touch the lower caste people, and child marriage, that a girl should get married early or a boy should get married early. So those were prevalent during that period. And who supported? Our leaders supported, religious leaders supported. Now here there is, I'm reading the speech bubble. Anyone who crosses the sea loses his religion. So here the religious leader is talking to the local people and telling them that if anyone goes out of India, then they may lose what? Their religion. So here it was a misconception given to the people, but people believed on them. Now the next one is saying, all the misery, bad things in the world is due to women. Yes, over here what they are saying, that female, because of female only all these bad things had come into the world. So those were the things taught by the religious leaders, but in reality it isn't, but people trusted on them. Now here the British are saying something. Let's see. The truth was that Indians had lost self-respect. The British scrowned to get wild or to get angry on them. Let's see the speech bubble, what it is saying. The natives, local people, are unworthy of trust. Means here one side, when all the Britishers are together, they will be talking bad about the Indians. So here it is being shown that they two Britishers chatting with each other. What they are saying, let's see. The natives are unworthy of trust, incapable of honesty. They distrust this one Hindus and Muslims, but when they used to come in front of them, they showed that yes, they trusted on them. So here our people only betrayed us. One of the man of Hindu, he is saying, true, you are honor, but I am honest. Means others would be lie, but I am truthful. Next one. Being merchants, the British wanted quick profits. Their heavy taxes forced farmers to abandon their field. So here the British wanted, by hook and crook, they wanted to gain more and more profits from the Indians, and so by hook and crook they tried to take over, to snatch the fields of the farmers. They forced them to do indigo plantation and all. I shall teach you. Let's come further. But you men are taking all my crop. One of the farmers is saying that to the Britisher that yes, certain amount we are ready to give, but here you are taking everything from us. So here on that, what is he saying? Let's see. You are still in areas debt in loan. Okay, if you don't pay next week, I will send you to jail. So they used to, if you are not able to pay the money, they used to put the small farmers into the prison. Let's go further. Still, the British invented other methods which gave them more profits. They tried to grab more and more money from the Indian, one after another. They tried their tricks. So here, what is being said? The goods manufactured in England should not have any import duty. That is import duty, taxes. Import duty when brought into India. So here the British is saying that if from foreign, if any item is brought, on that tax won't be there. A good idea. So here the other one is saying the East India Company's law began to cripple, make worse situation. Indian industries, means what? Our Indian industries started going into debt, that is loan day by day. Why? Because of the laws. They used to take extra taxes from our Indians. Next one. Inevitably, famine followed. So here our conditions started going bad, but with that nature also had been very not in favor of Indians. In some places there were famines, shortage of food and scarcity of water. Between 1822 and 1836, 15 lakh Indians died of starvation due to what? Due to food scarcity and lack of water. What happened? People started dying. The British policies destroyed the expert artisans and their business. Means what? They were ready to work, but they were not getting that much amount of their work. And so due to that, what happened? People started becoming poorer and poorer and started destroying. And these, you know that how hard it is for the artisans too. And their business went into loss. Students, now I shall start from page number 39 about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. That is your fourth point of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. You will be having an SST also, a short note on him. How he had transformed, how he had stopped Sati system and many more other things. Let's see what changes he tried to make in India. Raja Ram Mohan Roy from 1772 to 1833. Let's start, students. Ram Mohan Roy, that is Raja Ram Mohan Roy only, don't get confused. Ram Mohan Roy, a learned man from Bengal, understood what was wrong with the country. So here speech bubble is there. Let's see. Raja Ram Mohan Roy saying, let us not despise ourselves. Means what? Not to get confused. Okay, or not to overtrust. Let us not despise ourselves. Our ancient culture is great. Means what? Whatever the wrong misconception is there, misbelief is there about our culture, that yes, somewhere we feel very good and somewhere we feel very bad. So we should not have any doubt about it. And we are capable of great achievements. We must first reform change our society. Superstitions have been ruining us. Superstitions, social evils, or bad beliefs, old beliefs. And ruining, that is destroying. So here, due to old beliefs or social evils, due to the social evils, what had happened? We are not going forward, we are coming back and back. Okay, so here, next one, he told his wife, Uma. What is the name of the wife? Uma. Cows are of different colors, but the color of their milk is same. Different teachers have different opinions, but the essence of every religion is the same. Students, even though we all people are different by face, color, by structure, but still we have the one heart only, and we believe the God. That is, even though the idols would be of God would be different, but God is only one whom you faith. So here, what is he saying? Let's see. He was attracted by science and modern knowledge. What he said? Knowledge should be practical and scientific. Then there is in the same one, what it is? He started newspaper, but the suspicious, doubtful British stopped them in 1823. Students, Rajaram Mohan Roy did his studies from foreign country. He went to foreign country and he studied from them. When he read more and more books, he understood how important technology was, how important knowledge was. And so when he came to India, he understood how important it was. And so he tried to tell the people to update themselves by gaining more and more knowledge, not only to mug it up, but to do experiments. So when you do experiment, you come to know properly. So here in newspapers also about him topics came. But what happened when the British saw that yes, Hindus are improving, understanding what important is, so here they started banning him and they started doubting on Rajaram Mohan Roy's behavior. So here one more, this is the speech bubble is there. Let's see, before that line is there, I shall read. He crossed the seas and went to England to see what made the British powerful. There he told them, means to whom? To the Britishers. What did he when he went over there to England? After that he did some research and all. And then what did he see and what did he say? Let's see. We accept you as rulers and you must accept us as subjects, local people. But you must remember the responsibility a ruler owes to his subject. Means what? Even if you're ruling us, but you should treat your people in a proper manner. So here, going further, next page, page number 40, students. Fifth point, operations. Operations, that is oppose. How our people started opposing when they saw the bad behavior of the Britishers, they started. Let's see. Operations, that is 1765 to 1835. During this period, what happened? Let's see. Here, one of the two Indian people, two Indian local ones are there, put into the prison. They are talking with each other. Let's see. But the British continued to oppose Indians. In 1818, they had passed Regulation 3, that is one of the act, one of the rule was made by the Britishers. Under it, an Indian could be jailed without trial in a court. Means what? If I feel that you are guilty, you have done anything wrong, in reality you are not done. But if I feel that yes, or if I dislike you, or if I feel yes to grab your money and all, then what can I do? I'll file a case against you. But what is there? You cannot have any lawyer against it. Only I can directly put into your I can directly put you into the prison by charging. but Indians can't fight the case, only the Britishers can directly apply that. That is called what? Regulation Act 3. So, what happened? Let's see. All the time, British officers in India drew big salaries and also made fortunes in private business. Means what here they are saying that if an Indian is working with the Britishers and having the same status, like example, if one is sub inspector and the other is also sub inspector, but the Britishers, that is a white man, will gain around 10,000, but whereas Indian will get around 2,000. So that much difference was given to both of them, or injustice was done with them. So here our people understood slowly about it. Next one I shall read. By 1829, Britain was exporting British goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. Means from foreign around 7 crore rupees. What was done? Britain was exporting, giving to India. So here their things were being sold in India, but our things were not sold, and if it is sold, then heavy taxes were taken from us. So due to that, what happened? Our money was going out, because when you are paying the money, your money will go out. When they are paying the money, their money will come to us. But here what was happening? From our people, the money was being taken, but indirectly, and we were unknown to that. The British prospered on the company's loot, while Indian industries began to die. Means our local people started purchasing, how we are right now purchasing Chinese items so cheaply, so good technology, and we are what is happening? They are becoming rich, and we Indians are becoming poor. So Narendra Modi, you know that he told that to purchase of India. Let's come to the chapter back again. Governor General Benting, that is William Benting, reported back home. So here, when Benting came to India, later on when he saw the conditions of our local people, that is our Indians, what did he say? The bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India. Means what? The conditions are becoming worse day by day of whom? Cotton weavers. Students, now I shall start page number 41. Point number 6, dissatisfaction 1835 to 56. Education in India, that is, you can call it as education also, students. Education in India was in Persian and Sanskrit. So here two languages it was during that period, that is 1835 to 56. Which language? Persian and Sanskrit. An Englishman named Macaulay suggested a change. So here when Macaulay came to India, he felt that there should be a change. He felt that instead of teaching, or instead of Persian and Sanskrit, a new language to be taught, which was the English. Let's see, a speech bubble is there between two Britishers. What they are saying, let's see. We should teach the natives, that is local people, through the English language. I agree. The other one is also saying I agree to that. Why? Because the local people can do the paperwork, that is administration, and the high post they can gain. So that was the main intention of those people, that is Britishers. Next one, English education or education produced clerks to whom the British gave petty small jobs under them. Incidentally, it also produced a new generation of intellectuals. So here our people became more and more scholars. Why? Because when they started learning English, they understood, when they started reading new books, they understood what the intentions of the Britishers were. They started understanding the industrial revolution which carried out in different countries and all, and so our people also started becoming more and more clever, intelligent. So here there is a speech bubble. I shall read between three leaders of India. So I shall start now. We must educate our brothers. Raja Ram Mohan Roy is saying, and try to improve their material conditions. Means what? Financial conditions of our people is worse, so that also it will improve. And the third one is saying, for that we must convey our grievances to the British Parliament. So here we shall inform the British Parliament that yes, English education to be given to our people too. Now here what happens? There is another one particular picture in that a map of India is being shown. I shall read that. By 1856, the British had conquered to win. Okay, the whole of India. Means here you can see first initially more Indian states were there where our kings were ruling, and very less part of India was occupied by Britishers, but now it was vice versa. Majority of the part British had conquered, occupied by hook and crook, by the different acts they had conquered that thing, and very less part was or territory was left for Indian princely states. Next one I shall read. They cared little about the needs of India. So here our people started understanding that yes, initially they showed how much they care, but later on our people also understood that. And what the local ones are talking, let's see. Our kings have become puppets and we have lost our old jobs. Means whatever the jobs were there, people had, because if you don't know English, you are not being kept over there. So here the people lost their jobs. And land, so your farmers also have lost their land because of heavy taxes. They are converting our brothers, yes, Hindus into Christians. It was converting Hindus and Muslims into Christians was done during that period. You only talk, do something to drive them out. The people felt yes, only by saying such things no use. Something has to be done to they had to do some revolt, and then only it can happen. Students, now I shall start with page number 42. 7 point, the sparks. 1855 to 57 means how the revolt started in India during these 2 years is being shown in this particular page. Let's start. Here there is local people shown and how they are revolting, protesting or opposing the Britishers is being shown. Let's go through it. Taxes continued to ruin, destroyed the peasants. Peasants means what? Farmers, local farmers. Taxes continued to ruin the peasants. In Bengal, the Santhal is one of the tribe. Okay, how you had Adivasi tribe in the same manner, the Santals. Okay, now here what they are saying. Taxes continued to ruin the peasants in Bengal. Where did the Santhal live? In Bengal. This tribe you will find in Bengal if you go. In Bengal, the Santals who had lost their lands under new land rules became desperate. See, students, when you don't have anything to eat, when your kids are dying, no water, no money to eat, to purchase anything, at that moment you will become desperate and you will go against the law. So here the people went against the law. In 1855, they rose in rebellion to oppose and massacred to create fights between two groups. So here they come together to come together and to oppose the government. So here what happened? In 1855, they rose in rebellion and massacred Europeans and their supporters alike. Means what? They started opposing these Europeans because they understood that yes, they were not friends, but they were indirectly enemies who had come as merchants in India, but now they had looted us, and so they are opposing. The next one, I'm reading the next picture. Discontent, unsatisfaction. People were not satisfied. Discontent was brewing, means what, between people, what happened, local people, what happened, people started talking against the British behavior, what they had done. This content was brewing in the East India Company's army too. So not only between Indians, but even the people who were working in the army, they also. Now here there is a speech bubble between some of the people who are working for Britishers. What they are saying, let's see. The white soldiers, means what, Indians who were working for the Britishers as policemen or any other, they are. Let's see what they are talking. The white soldier gets huge pay, mentions big huge houses, okay, a palace, to live in servants. Okay, means what, they get huge amount and they get good place to live, while we get a pittance a very small amount, and slow promotion, we don't get good promotion also, and sooner the promotion we don't get. The next one is saying the Angrezi the Angrez ask us to cross the sea, which is against our religion. Who is the topi wala to abolish to stop our age old custom? Means what, the people understood, yes, our religion, that is, we had done prior also, that the religious leaders told us that if you go across the sea, what may happen, you will abort your religion. Why? Because when you go outside India during that period, once you are gone, means gone, no one is going to bring you back, and whatever things you get to eat over there, you have to eat whatever they will tell, you have to do those things. So here now they understood how the wrong things were done to our people. Now here one man thinking, what is he thinking? We must drive out the Angrez. Now they understood that we should go against those Britishers and we should make our country free. So here Sepoy Mangal Pandey, students, in English, proper English, we'll say Sepoy, or in Hindi we'll say Sipahi. Okay, so I'll go for Sepoy. Sepoy Mangal Pandey attacked the adjutant, that is one of the police, okay, the adjutant of his regiment, and was executed. Means what, Mangal Pandey, when he saw the injustice was done, he attacked on his senior officer of his regiment troop, and later on he was executed, killed. Thousands of other sepoys revolted. They were stripped of their uniforms. They were removed when these Britishers saw that, yes, with Mangal Pandey others are also opposing them. Then what was done? They were told to give their to remove their uniform and not to be the sepoys again. Means they were put into the jail, humiliated, and put in irons. Means what, they were punished. A strict punishment was given those who opposed them. Next one, few Englishmen had cared to understand Indian customs or the people's mind. So here now the people, even the English people started understanding the Indian customs, because after living for so many years, now they also understood what the things were going on. Oh, proud Brahmin soldier, do you know that the grease on the bullet you have to bite is made from the fat of cows and pigs? What? The white man has deceived, cheated us too. So here students, in SSC you will be having that cartridges, a new type of gun was used, in which the bullets were used. How it was to open that bullet, what was required? You require to open the cap with your mouth. But there was a rumor, a misconception going on between all, that what was the rumor going on? That if you want to open that particular cap of that bullet, you require to open with your teeth. And that particular area, what was used? Fats, that is oil was used. And that fats, what was that? It was of the cows and pigs. And so when our people understood that this thing was going on, they started opposing, that they are not going to use that cartridges. So they started opposing. Now what happens over here? Let's see. Soon in the jail, what happened in the prison also, people started opposing. Now how did in the jail they started opposing? Let's see. Soon chapatis was sent from villages to village to tell the people that their emperor would want their services. Means what? To leave the British service, and now what, our local kings wanted the support of the local people. And so for that, what, a secret mission was done, that on the chapati only inside it was written that our king wanted. So here the Britishers didn't understand what message was being passed. On what it was passed? On chapatis it was passed. Yes, all my village men will be ready. So what, against the Britishers, what was made? A big troop was made of Indian soldiers. Now here the next one. Similarly, lotus flowers circulated among Indian soldiers. Death, death to the foreigner. So here the masses people gave all help and shelter to the patriots. Means what? Here the this thing was done. A secret planning was going again, was done against the Britishers through chapatis and lotus, that they will come together and they will oppose the Britishers and they will remove or kill them from India. Students, now let's start for page number 43. Point number 8, Revolt of 1857. I'm reading the first picture. Then there was a violent outbreak at Meerut. Meerut is the name of a place where the Indian soldiers who were working for Britishers, when they realized the injustice done to them, they opposed the Britishers, and then there was a small war between both the armies, Indian as well as Britishers. The second picture talks that when the Indian army had a fight with Britishers, after that they went to Delhi altogether and asked Bahadur Shah Zafar, who was the emperor at that particular time, to help him. So the second picture talks the Sipahi march to Delhi. So your bubble is there, a speech bubble. Long live our emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar. The third picture talks the rebellion spread wider. Means first in few places it was, but later on when people realized at other places also, so here and there, what happened? The people started opposing the Britishers. So rebellion means to oppose, to protest. The fourth picture talks about many landlords had lost their lands because of the British policies and they were sore. Means the landlords were unhappy with the unjust policies made by Britishers. Here two speech bubbles are there. One landlord is talking to other one. The white man's rule must end. And the second one talks about, yes, we will help you. Students, now the next one, page number 44, point number 9, it talks about, it is the last page, student. It talks about the the fight for freedom, 1857. So how it spread all over the country and how the people understood the unjust rules of Britishers. So here one scene is of, or one picture is of Begum Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow. So here I'm reading, many former those rulers who was having their throne and later on they were removed. So they are called as former. Many former rulers like Begum Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow were bitter, unhappy. Why? Here there is a speech bubble. She's saying the white man has taken away my kingdom. So here it was, the kingdom was taken, was snatched from her. In the same picture, there is one more thing. They joined the upsurge. Who joined? Begum Hazrat Mahal. She joined whom? The others, so that they can win and Britishers can go away from their country. So here they are saying, here it is being written, they joined the upsurge protest against the foreigners, Britishers. The next picture talks about Popular leaders like Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faizabad told the people, what is it telling? Rise, brothers, rise. Rise means get up, get ready. And what is he saying? He is adding, the Angrez is ruining, destroying our land. So now here the local people understood that the injustice was done, and now they too started opposing. The people rose everywhere, means the people started coming up, came forward against the injustice. Now here some places are there in Bareilly, Kanpur and Allahabad. So here the people were against the Britishers. The next one, third picture, Ahmadullah Khan told Tata Tope. Now what Ahmadullah Khan is telling Tata Tope? Let's see. We should have Peshwa Nana Sahib as our leader in this war of independence. Means what? Against the Britishers, Nana Sahib should be forward to fight. The patriots pounced upon the British and fought pitch battles all over North India. So, all over North India, what happened? There was a war where our people had a great fight between whom? With the Britishers. So, here one side Nana Sahib and the other, our other small rulers, as well as the other side Britishers. And the last picture talks about 80-year-old Kunwar Singh of Bihar, who received a bullet in his wrist. So here in the war, what happened? A bullet was pierced into Kunwar Singh's hand, that is on the wrist, and it went. Went means what? From one part to the other side. And what happened after that? In the blood, what started? The poison started going. So here what did he do? He took a sword and he cut off his hand from the wrist. Okay, and a speech bubble is there which says, Mother Ganga, this is my last offering to you. So here he cut off his hand for the sake of the freedom of our country. So here different people are there who were ready to fight against the Britishers because of their unjust rule. So here your chapter is over. Thank you, students.